Hey, what's up, guys? Tony here, and I need to make it clear this is a nerd alert, like merp, 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 like super nerd alert. I think a while back I said something about how I wasn't going to be doing like a Star Trek commentary, or maybe it was like a Let's Play or something. I don't know. But anyways, here I am. Well, the funny thing was I was doing it during a Star Trek gameplay. So anyways, what brought this out? Two things. One is a very serious conversation. The other one is not. It's a very lighthearted conversation. But one aspect of what brought this to my mind is the fact that the Sci-Fi Channel is doing a Memorial Weekend Star Trek movie marathon right now. And they've been kind of oscillating between the original series movies and the next generation series movies. And it got me thinking about, like, well, which one's my favorite, which captain's my favorite, and like this could go into a console war status of like Star Trek nerds. And I don't know, everyone's gonna have their own sort of take on it, but I guess, you know what, I'll get it out in the open, because I was, you know, raised in the you know, pretty much I was born in '83, so I was raised in the '80s and the '90s. So Star Trek Next Generation is the series that I remember watching, like, actually on air, and so that series is one series I like, and so I'm more like prone to like Captain Picard over Captain Kirk, even though Captain Kirk's a cool character. I just like Picard a little better. But I mean, people are gonna like the original stuff too. But yeah, I'll throw that out there. So pretty much everything that's associated with the Next Generation crew, I prefer. But I do like the show Deep Space Nine, just because it is a darker version of Star Trek. There were some dark things that went on. It wasn't the peaceful, happy world that the Next Generation pretty much lived in. It was just sort of that far-off place where there was a lot of gray area where it wasn't so cut and dry, you know, like the Next Generation was. And then Voyager got off on a little bit of a tangent. It wasn't really my favorite show. And then, of course, Enterprise is sort of like that bastard stepchild that nobody seemed to like. And then I think now with the new movie that came out, I think it's going to bring a little bit more mass appeal. I mean, there are some things that are similar with the whole series, you know, with the original series. I mean, of course, it's like an alternate universe now. It's not really the same timelines. There are things that are different, but I think that I think it's J.J. Abrams who directed that movie was able to bring some more mass appeal, which I think is good, because there are fundamental things that Star Trek has to offer as far as like how relationships and people and how Gene Roddenberry viewed the human race, and you know, as it was a very I don't know how to put it. It was just it was a cutting edge show for its time when it came out in the '60s, and so I think they try to keep developing upon this whole like breaking social ground. Because I know back in the '60s when William Shatner and the actress who plays Uhura, when they kissed on TV, I was the first, you know, African American and white person like kissing on TV ever, you know. And so there was all this talk about having gay characters involved, and that sort of brings me on to the next topic of George Takei. And if you don't know who he is, he's the guy who played Sulu, and so that's kind of a reason why I've got the Excelsior here and the Enterprise, because he was on both ships, the character was. But he's got this whole like thing going on right now. He's very much, you know, into gay rights, and he's trying to bring awareness out about the gay civil rights. And so basically what it got me thinking about was doing sort of a somewhat serious conversation about this idea of, like, what do you guys think about the whole marriage situation? Us, you know, people here who live in California, we had to deal with that with Prop 8 not too long ago. And it's just this ongoing thing about, like, well, what is marriage and who can get married? And do we really want to segregate a section of our population? You know, personally, from like a historical standpoint, when I look at it, I'm going, okay, well, we tried segregation once, it failed miserably, and to try it again would be kind of foolish. So that's the way I look at it. I'm not looking at it from a religious standpoint, which I know a lot of people are. They want to protect the sanctity of marriage. I think that's a really weak argument, to be honest, due to the fact that divorce rates are astronomically high. You've got politicians and sports figures cheating on their wives, having kids with housemaids, and like say in the Arnold Schwarzenegger situation, you've got Tiger Woods sleeping with God only knows how many women, even though he's married. And then what I think is really funny is that there are politicians that have a cause, and they're so adamant about their cause, and it's usually these guys who are beating the drums about their cause who are involved in whatever their cause is, like the anti whatever is, if they're against something, they're usually involved in it. And there's that one senator, I don't remember his name, and I probably should have looked it up before I did this, but I'm sort of winging this. But he was a guy who was against gay people, and he was like the toe tapping dude, like in the gay clubs or whatever the hell he was doing. He's a homosexual himself, but he was like against homosexuals. Like his public entire message was anti-homosexual. So I think that's funny. So basically, like we can all sit, and this is what's great about our country, and here it is, Memorial Day's tomorrow, and I think it's good that we can talk about this kind of stuff. We have the soldiers who would give in their lives to protect our rights and our freedoms, in this sort of conversation that we can have in this sort of social discourse. But this is a big topic. So I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think ultimately we're going to have homosexuals being able to get married on equal terms as heterosexuals, as partners? I think is going to happen eventually. That's just sort of the way our country's going, and it's sort of a trend I can see happening. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's going to happen? Are you for or are you against it? It's sort of a very heavy topic to be getting into, but I think it's one that I think we're all mature enough to handle. So anyways, guys, I'm running over. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. All right, later.